Alright, the test is going to be on Tuesday, and again, this is the third video, and right now we're going to be covering systems. Now, systems of equations, whenever you have two linear equations next to each other. In this case, in Algebra 1, that's all we're going to be covering. So if you have y equals 2x plus 4, and y equals 3x plus 2. Now, you go to your calculator, you turn it on, you plug them both in there. 2x plus 4 and 3x plus 2. And then you graph them. Once you graph them, you have three options. The first one will have one intersection point. That one has one solution. You got to locate the point of intersection. We call that the solution. Another option, you have two lines that never intersect. Since they never intersect, there's no solution, because the answer is where they intersect. Here they never intersect, so there's no solution. And you have a third option where the two lines are right on top of each other. If the two lines are on top of each other, then they intersect all over the place. We call that infinite solutions. So we're going to check to see which one this is, and this one is one solution. The answer is right there. Now we can locate it by looking at the table, trying to find the same numbers on both sides. We can do it that way, or we can go ahead and try this a different way by just asking the calculator, and the calculator will actually tell us the point of intersection. In this case right here, you can tell they both intersect at 8. So the answer would be 2, 8. But the better way is to go second trace, 5, enter, 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 until it says intersection right there. And it intersects at 2, 8. So the answer here will be 2, 8. And this is systems, and that's what we're working on. Now, this is usually a whole lot easier when it's set up like this. To confuse you, though, sometimes, instead of setting them up on top of each other like that, they'll set them down side by side. And once they do that, that causes a little difference and becomes an issue. So don't stress it at all. Instead, what you could do is you could just put this one in y equal to, and put this one also in y equal to. And then you can see the same thing. So, instead of being on top of each other, they'll put them side by side. So if you ever see an expression on this side, an equal sign, an expression on this side, all you got to do is go to y equal to, put the first one here, put the second one here, second trace 5, enter, enter, enter. Alright, another trick they do is instead of making it look like that, they'll make it look a little bit different. Same thing. They do make it the same thing. As long as there's an expression here, an equal sign, it's usually going to be a system. One other trick that they use, instead of saying y equals 2x plus 4, they'll switch it up and make it in a different format, in the standard form. So whenever that's the case, I can't use that in a calculator. I can't plug it in, and I can't go second trace 5, enter, enter, enter. So instead, you have to solve it. Opposite side, opposite sign. You want to say y equals, so this guy has to stay here. This guy has to go to the opposite side, so you use the opposite sign. This is positive, the opposite of that would be negative. Once these cross out, the 6y drops, and here I have a negative 3x plus 12. Now I divide by 6. Once I divide by 6, these cross out, and there you go, y equals. This becomes negative 1/2 x plus 2. So, other than that, the only other type of question you'll see is a word problem. Whenever you see word problems, what you want to do is you want to look at the number. Like I'll say $3 per hour, something like that, and you'll find the number 3, you'll circle it. Wherever you see per, you put a letter X, and you locate what they're talking about. What costs $3 per hour? Whenever you find out what that is, you stop right there and you go look at the answer choices and see which one corresponds to it. Now, we're going to use this trick in a minute. We'll show you how it works. Now, this is all for the practice part, the explanation part. Now I'd like you to go ahead and start working. For systems, you're going to be working on number 8, 13, 20, 32, 39, 48, and 52. In the comment section, in the description section, there's the test from last year. Just click on that and just do these problems. Once you're done, come back to this video and then be able to see the answers as I work them out for you. Alright guys? First question we're going to work on is question number 8. And as you realize, question number 8 has an equal sign. And there's something on this side, an expression, and something on this side, another expression. So all we got to do is go to my calculator. Remember that the systems, sometimes they write them in front of each other like that. Negative 5x minus open parentheses, negative 7 minus 4x, close parentheses. That's the top. On the bottom, we have a negative 2, open parentheses, 3x minus 4, close parentheses. Now we're going to go graph it. Here it is. Second trace 5. That didn't work. Second trace 5. Enter, enter, enter. And the answer is 0.2. So we look over here to find 0.2. It's one of these right here. So I go 0.2, math, enter, enter. It's 1/5. Next question, question number 13. Question number 13 says the sports magazines prints 12 issues per year. And that's a sports magazine. So 12 should go with the letter S. Correct, correct, wrong, wrong. So you circle the number, find the subject, and go look for it. Don't read the whole thing, go a little bit at a time. Technology magazine prints 10 issues per year. So 10 is for technology, so 10 should go with T. Per year. The total number of pages in all issues of the sports magazine, alright, here we go. So all the issues in sports, that was 12, right? Is, so 12 equals, not 10 equals. The answer is A. Next question is number 20. This one's a little bit harder because you have to read it, write it, then solve it. Manager purchased a total of 21 coffee mugs and keychains. So when it says a total of 21, 21 what? Coffee shop mugs and keychains. So I'll call this one X and this one's Y. So you take your X, that's the coffee mugs, and the keychains, that's the Y, and you end up with a total of 21. Now, the coffee mug, we call that X, that's $8.50. So $8.50 goes with X. And the keychain is $2.75. $2.75 goes with the keychain, that's Y. And when you buy it, you get a total of $132.50. Again, the concept here is real easy. What I want to do is I want to graph both of them. So I want to solve them to make them Y equal to. So X plus Y equals to 21. If I subtract X from both sides, I end up with Y equals negative X plus 21. That's the first one. Now for the second one, I'm going to get Y by itself, so I subtract 850 from both sides. And once I do that, I divide by that 275. So 132.5 divided by 2.75 gives me 48.18. Minus 850 divided by 275. I'm sorry, 8.5 divided by 275 is 3.09. Alright, let's graph it together. We'll graph it. I can't see it, so I'm going to zoom out. Alright, second, trace 5, enter, 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 and as you can tell, they meet at 13. Alright, next we'll do question number 32. Again, in order to graph it, what we need is to make it say Y equal to. Both of these do not, so in order to make it say Y equal to, the Y has to remain here, which means this guy has to go to the opposite side. Opposite side, opposite sign, that's positive. Opposite of positive is negative. So Y equals negative 2x minus 4. So I'm going to zoom standard, brings it back to normal. Zoom standard brings it back to normal. So now I can see the normal section. Alright, Y equals, we says negative 2x minus 4. the second one. Negative 3y equals 2x plus 12. I want to say y equals, so that has to stay there. So I have to divide by this number. So I end up with negative 2/3 x minus 4. And then we go graph, and we'll look at the answer. Now the first one crosses at negative 2, and that looks like negative 4. And the other line crosses up here around negative 6 and negative 4. That's the only graph that has the same picture. Do you see that? The answer is F. $39. Alright, again, same concept. This one already says y equal to, the other one does not. So this is 10x minus y equals 53. Again, the y has to stay. Opposite side, opposite sign. This is positive, opposite positive is negative. Now the problem is this one has a negative. So I need a number here, I'll put a 1. Over here I have negative 10x plus 53. I want to say y equal to, not negative 1y equal to, so I divide everybody by negative 1. So y equals 10x minus 53. So I'll put that in there as well. And over here, this one's a fraction. So if I go alpha y equals to enter, it gives me a fraction. And I can type it in there to make it look exactly like that one looks like. Now I go second trace, 5. After it graphs it, then I can go enter, 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 and the answer is 6, 7. Alright, 2 more to go, number 48. A bag contains 18 coins, and this 18 coins are quarters and dimes. So you take your quarters and your dimes, you end up with 18. Quarters and dimes gives you 18. Quarters and dimes, nope. Quarter and dimes gives you 18. Okay, so it's only F or H. Second thing is the value of the coins. Not just the quarters and dimes, but the value of a quarter. The value of a quarter is not 10 cents. The value of a quarter is 25 cents. The value of a dime is 10 cents. That's the correct answer. Last one is question number 52. Again, as you can tell, it's an equation, an equal sign, and an equation. And whenever you have two equations equal to each other like that, that's a system. So I'll put it in there. 0.3 open parentheses, 12x minus 16, close parentheses. And then up here, we have 0.4 open parentheses, 12 minus 3x. And now we go second calculate, second trace, 5. Let it graph. Enter, enter, enter. And the answer there is 2. We always go for the x unless they ask us for the y. Okay, guys, I hope that helped. As you notice, a lot of these can be done straight with a calculator. So good luck with the test.